Today on Inquirer. Despite recent increase in COVID-19 cases in the country, Department of Tourism says there is no plan to impose stricter travel restrictions. Baguio LGU reimposing mandatory face mask rule for indoors amid rise in COVID-19 cases in the city. Possible recantations of Degamo slay suspects expected, according to Pamplona Mayor Janice Degamo. And 2 hurt after a fishing vessel catches fire and sinks off Palawan. Good afternoon. Despite the recent increase in COVID-19 cases in the country, the Department of Tourism has no plan to impose stricter travel restrictions. Daphne Galvez has the report.
The Department of Tourism is not keen on imposing stricter travel restrictions despite the recent spike in COVID-19 cases in the country. Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco said the government will continue to open up the Philippines to travel and tourism as it moves forward from the pandemic.
Tapos na po yung pandemya. Sabi po yan ng World Health Organization. Kaya naman po, while we continue to support the Department of Health's measures as far as ensuring the health and safety of our fellow Filipinos, the direction of the Philippines is forward. And that is to ensure that we continue to open up the country to travel and tourism.
She gave assurance to the public that minimum health and safety standards are in place. Frasco made the remark after the Department of Health logged over 12,000 new COVID-19 cases from May 8 to May 14, the largest number of weekly COVID-19 cases in 29 reporting weeks. This is also the first time that the new weekly infections reached over 10,000. It also marked the 11th straight week of increasing cases and the second straight week of more than 1,000 average daily new cases. The DOH earlier said that the COVID-19 pandemic is not yet over despite the World Health Organization lifting the global state of public health emergency. Frasco said the DOT will launch a new tourism slogan in the next few weeks, which will replace the "It's More Fun in the Philippines." She said the new slogan will be consulted with tourism stakeholders first. The DOT will also shift its focus in promoting the Philippines, saying it will highlight the heart and soul of the Filipino, which is evident in the country's culture, festivals, food, and local products.
Everything that makes us diverse and unique and a proud Filipino people that gives us pride of place. We are putting forth the best of the Philippines to the world because it cannot be denied that we do give the world our best.
Frasco also announced that President Bongbong Marcos approved the government's National Tourism Development Plan 2023 to 2028, which seeks to make the Philippines a tourism powerhouse.
And what our fellow Filipinos can expect is that mabibigyan po ng pagkakataon yung ating mga kababayan na magkaroon ng tourism employment sa pamamagitan ng pag-develop natin ng mga tourism circuits and to continue to push for tourism across our regions and provinces.
She said the plan, which will serve as the blueprint and development framework for the tourism industry, is a result of consultations among stakeholders across the country. The plan addresses essential issues in tourism development, including the development of infrastructure, connectivity, as well as digitalization, the equalization of tourism, and enhancement of overall tourism experience, as well as the strengthening of tourism governance. This is Daphne Galvez reporting for INQUIRER.net.
The Bureau of Corrections says around 4,000 inmates have been freed so far under the administration of President Bongbong Marcos. Sofia Abrogar has the report.
An estimated 4,000 inmates have been released under President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr.'s administration, according to Bureau of Corrections Director General Gregorio Catapang Jr. This follows the release of 267 prisoners from various penal facilities nationwide on Monday, marking the Bureau of Corrections' highest number of inmates or persons deprived of liberty released in one day. Catapang said that the Bureau is prioritizing PDLs that are qualified for parole, especially senior citizens and those tagged with good conduct. The corrections chief also said that the release of inmates aged 75 years old and above and sickly inmates had been expedited by Marcos and by Department of Justice Secretary Boying Remulla. Katapang also revealed the Bureau's plans to close the New Bilibid prison in 5 years and to construct a new BuCor global city. In previous statements, Katapang said that besides being a functioning prison, the global city would include socialized housing and a food terminal system, among other features. The BuCor head also highlighted the intended shutdown of the correctional institution for women in Mandaluyong, which he previously stated would take place before the Marcos administration ends in 2028. Katapang then mentioned the possibility of transferring female inmates from CIW to facilities in Palawan and Davao. This is Sofia Abrogar reporting for INQUIRER.net.
The widow of slain Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo says the possible recantation of suspects in the killing of her husband didn't come unexpected. In a radio interview, Pamplona Mayor Janice Degamo says she was informed by her lawyers that the possible recantation is expected. She adds that in the experience of her lawyers, it has become part of the legal process as they are in the middle of filing a case against suspended Negros Oriental Representative Arnie Teves. This comes after Justice Secretary Boying Remulla on Monday said 6 or 7 suspects in the killing of Degamo have lawyered up and are now refusing to talk. According to Remulla, the suspects were provided with lawyers by, quote, some people who are paying for their lawyers who were not there before. Remulla says the suspects' refusal to cooperate is the reason for the delay in the filing of a case against Teves. Still, the DOJ chief says they would push through with the filing of the case, especially since the suspects have given their statements freely with CCTV and cameras in front of witnesses and public attorney's office lawyers. Next on Inquirer today, Baguio LGU reimposing mandatory face mask rule for indoors amid rise in COVID-19 cases in the city. Cop held in contempt and detained for not naming informant in anomalous drug operations. And 2 hurt after a fishing vessel catches fire and sinks off Palawan. This Inquirer today will be back shortly.
Many online freelancers are sharing on social media how much they have been making with their jobs.
Ito, and marami pang success stories. Mas madaming clients, mas maraming earnings. The income is endless. You can earn as much as 6 figures up to millions depending on your effort.
And many are asking, how?
Hi, my name is Princess Riza Bornolia, also known as Ces Bornolias. I am 24 years old. I'm a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering at Batangas State University, batch 2019. Ano ba talaga yung freelancing? Diba? Bakit hype na hype siya? Freelancing is a service-based business wherein you sell your skill sa mga clients natin.
Unlike the usual 9-to-5 job, a freelancer is an independent contractor earning from different types of jobs assigned by a client.
So one of the perks of being an online freelancer is the flexibility. You can work anywhere you want as long as you have the internet and your laptop.
Prior to becoming a full-time online freelancer, Ces pursued a career in industrial engineering.
I'm really looking forward to build a name in industrial engineering industry. Luckily, nagkaroon ako ng work sa isang manufacturing company, but the salary wasn't that enough to sustain my family. So, after a couple of months working sa manufacturing company, I decided na mag-resign. That was January 2020.
Unfortunately, after Ces' resignation came the pandemic.
So, that time, lahat ng na-envision ko, nawala siya lahat. So, ang ginawa ko, nagkaroon ako ng iba't ibang mga racket. Buy and sell, even networking. So, okay naman talagang nagkakaroon ng income sa lahat ng racket. Pero hindi siya sustainable for me. Isip ko na ano kaya yung iba't ibang ways na pwede akong kumita while staying at home. So, I went to YouTube, I typed in how to earn online while staying at home. So, I came across these videos about being virtual assistant. So, pinanood ko lang siya ng pinanood hanggang sabi ko sa sarili ko, I will take a risk dito. sa online freelancing. From yung room ko before na tinutulugan, ginawa ko siyang mini home office. So, meron ako doon parang yung laptop ko nung college na medyo sira-sira na. Hindi siya madali, actually, kagaya ng ibang nakikita natin ngayon online. It took me 2 months before I landed my first ever client. I eat rejections in the morning. I think naka-hundreds of applications ako that time. Wala talaga akong nakukuhang client. Dumating naman yung December 31, 2020, 11:11 p.m. Meron pa din akong screenshot. Nakakuha ko ng first ever client. Kumbaga may nag-take risk sa akin. After nun, nagsunod-sunod na. Nagkaroon ako ng ibang pang mga clients. Nag-invest ako sa iba't ibang mga courses para ma-improve yung skills ko. Nag-improve ako ng mga setup. Ang kinikita ko before as an engineer is around 13,000. Right now, I would say yung range, since iba-iba talaga siya per month, it ranges around 100k to 250k. And the success that is really fulfilling na na-achieve ko right now is comfortable na yung life ng family ko. Hindi na siya paycheck to paycheck. I have my own property, house and lot. I've been on my first ever international trip last January. I got my own car. I have different investments and businesses.
Despite the very success stories of being a freelancer, there are still risks that come with the career.
Natatempt ako mag-quit sa corporate and mag-start mag-freelancing.
Hindi lahat ng business kumikita na agad in the first few months. In the first month, the first 3 months, ganon. Sometimes, alam mo yun, parang it might take a year for a business to even profit, diba? Kung isipin ng mga tao na, ayun, maganda yung freelancing, resign na lang ako sa job ko sa corporate. So, medyo delikado siya ng ganun. For they resign, ganun, meron ding, nagpe-prepare sila ng savings for months. Times na nauubos pa din siya. Kasi, let's say, closing your first client, may halo din siyang luck eh. Parang, alam mo yun, kung gaano kasipag, tsaka onting luck.
Freelancing is not for everyone. In the corporate side, you have your benefits, stable income, like you would expect your bi-monthly pay every 15th and 30th. In freelancing, hindi. Kung gaano kataas yung pwede mong kitain, pwede ka rin walang kitain per month. So, ang message ko lang right now dun sa mga gustong mag-online freelancing, especially dun sa mga taong palaging nagko-comment ng how, you can start naman doing online freelancing kahit part-time lang on the side. You don't need to resign. Actually, hindi ko kayo ine-encourage na okay, wag na kayo mag-corporate, mag-freelancing kayo. Hindi. Kasi freelancing is a business and challenging talaga siya. You can start by just trying it out on the side.
Amid the rising number of COVID-19 cases, Baguio City is reimposing the mandatory use of face masks, especially in indoor settings. In an interview posted in the Baguio City Public Information Office's Facebook page, Mayor Benjamin Magalong says the city is now requiring constituents and visitors to wear face masks indoors.
Kaya dito ipapatupad na uli natin. We will also advise dito sa City Hall and other government offices, especially sa indoors. We're now requiring our constituents and visitors to be wearing their face masks. So this is one way of mitigating, and at the same time, hopefully we'll be able to reduce the number of cases.
Separate statement on Tuesday, Magalong says the return of the mask mandate is part of the city's proactive stance to constantly safeguard the health of the populace. According to the mayor, the city has no plans to restrict people's movement or limit gatherings, but will take extra precautions by reimposing the wearing of face masks indoors. Magalong also encourages the observance of minimum public health standards such as avoiding crowds, washing hands, and disinfecting regularly. An official of the Philippine National Police was detained after the Senate Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs cited them for contempt. PNP's Drug Enforcement Unit Special Operations Unit Head Captain Jonathan Susongko earned the ire of Senator Bato de la Rosa for what seemed to be an evasion of questions. Susongko was among the 49 cops found liable for the alleged cover-up of irregularities in the police operation. De la Rosa asked Susongko who the informant was in connection with the seizure of 990 kilograms of shabu worth 6.7 billion pesos. But Susongko said he only had the informant's phone number. When asked about the phone number, Susongko said the phone where the number was saved was already gone. De la Rosa then said Susongko's alibi was too much and he was taking too much of their time. The senator then cited Susongko for contempt, which received no objections from fellow lawmakers.
Sobra na itong panluloko ginagawa sa atin ito. Naubos ang oras natin dito. Sergeant at Arms, you take physical custody of Police Captain Susongko. Sobrang magsinungaling ito. Tinatawagan mo tapos wala kang number? Ano ba? Ganun ka na lang mangloko sa komite na ito?
The Philippine Coast Guard reports that 2 fishermen were hurt after a fire hit a fishing vessel before submerging off Cuyo, Palawan. PCG Eastern Palawan personnel and elements of Cuyo Municipal Police Station responded after FV Victory 89 caught fire on Monday. But after a few hours of fire extinguishing efforts, the fishing vessel eventually submerged, according to the Facebook post of the Coast Guard Eastern Palawan. Due to the incident, PCG says the 2 crewmen sustained first-degree burns. The cause of the blaze is still under investigation. Oil spill booms were also laid out within the vicinity of the incident. Alamin naman natin ang mainit na balita sa mundo ng showbiz kasama si Irvin Santiago ng Bandera. Irvin?
Hi Neil at sa lahat ng mga kabandera natin all over the universe. Ito na nga ang latest Bandera Chika. Makalipas ang 10 taon ay muling magsasama sa isang proyekto si Ruru Madrid at Yasi Pressman. Batang-bata pa raw sila nung unang magkatrabaho sa isang acting project. Sila ang maswerteng napili ng mga bossing ng Viva Entertainment para magbida sa pelikulang Video City na inspired sa sikat na video rental shop noong dekada 90. Ito'y mula sa direksyon ni Rainier Brizuela. Ayon kay Ruru, super excited na siyang mag-shooting kasama si Yasi dahil nga sa unang pagkakataon makalipas ang isang dekada ay magtatambal sila sa isang fantasy rom-com movie na matagal na niyang gustong gawin. Puro papuri ang sinabi niya patungkol kay Yasi nang makachikahan ng ilang members ng press sa ginanap na story ko ng Video City. Sigurado raw na marami siyang matututunan sa aktres pagdating sa pag-arte dahil alam niyang napakagaling nito. Ayon naman kay Yasi, naggulat daw siya nang muling makita si Ruru dahil totoy na totoy pa raw ito nang huli silang magkasama. Bilib din daw siya sa acting ng binata kaya excited na rin siya sa pagsisimula ng kanilang shooting this week. Sa isang bahagi ng kanilang press con ay nagkabukingan pa tungkol sa pagkakakilala nila ngayon sa isa't isa. At in fairness, malakas din ang chemistry nila on screen base na rin sa panayam namin sa kanila.
Sabi ko nga kahapon, nag-aabang lang ako sa isang coffee shop. Ang layo-layo ni Yasi, pero sabi ko, artista yun. Alam ko na agad, ramdam ko na. So yung presence niya, tama mo, at lagi siya nangiti. Lagi siya, parang nabibigyan niya ng liwanag yung buong lugar pag nandyan siya.
Noon po, nung magkasama ko, parang medyo totoy pa po siya. Super young, mahihain, alam niyo, and then, nung nakita ko po siya ulit, nasa deliver po siya ng GMA. Sabi ko, ganda siguro na pala yun, tapos parang na-realize ko, tumanda na rin ba? Hindi naman. Pero definitely, nung nakita ko po siya, kahapon sabi ko, ay, ang pogi, guwapo pumorma, very gentleman, and I think, napaka-importante rin po rin, nakita niyo po naturally na ma-respeto po siya.
At yan ang Bandera Chika natin today. Thanks, Neil!
Maraming salamat, Irvin. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net.